plants are nurtured from the ground up, and fall is the best time to plant when roots dig deep and grow strong. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
The Ponca Tribe in Nebraska offers premium, free health care for all Native Americans in Nebraska. Our team is here when you're ready, with no judgment and no cost. Call 402-734-5275 for help now.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
You're listening to Offsides with Mark Ryan on the Infinity Sports Network.
It is awesome to have you guys with us. Mark Ryan here on the Infinity Sports Network. Look, man, when you consider the mess that college football has become and the behemoth that the NFL is, you realize that the NFL is about to extend its lead over the most popular sports in America. Used to be, like when I was a wee lad, it was pretty close between Major League Baseball and the NFL. You know, Major League Baseball would get 40 million viewers, and the Super Bowl would get 60 to 80 million viewers. I mean, that's pretty close. Now it's 150 million viewers for the Super Bowl and 8 million viewers for the World Series. There is no comparison. NFL is number one, college football is number two, and frankly, it isn't even close. You see why. You see the product. We're all invested completely, hook, line, and sinker. And joining us on this proposition right now is a dear friend of mine. I got to tell you guys something. I always say, if you're a young person who wants to do broadcasting, make yourself available. You wouldn't believe the number of people that I ask to come on the show that say, no, they can't do it. Figure out a way to make it happen. Be available. Availability is the best ability. It's not that my next guest, Luke Easterling, has any more free time than anybody else. He doesn't. He's an incredibly busy guy. But if he can, he always makes a point of coming on. That's the best advice I can give you. Somebody asks you to come on their show, be available. And he joins us right now. He's a football guy with Athlon Sports. For my money, he's the best NFL draft analyst out there. We're here to talk.
The back seat. Check the back seat. All right, come here. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the back seat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Huskers are headed to the locker room, and it's time for Big Red Overreaction. The live postgame show with all the info and opinions you can handle, plus the most important voice of all, yours. Big Red Overreaction is presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Get on the line now at 402-951-1620 and sound off on Big Red Overreaction. Live on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The K.
Welcome into Big Red Overreaction here on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The K. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster with you as Nebraska falls 30-27 to the Michigan Wolverines. The Huskers drop to 3-1 on the year, and now we'll have a couple of weeks to sit and stew with this one as they get ready for the final 8 games of conference play. Big Red Overreaction, as always, is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Also brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Matt got a tweet to kick things off from Sam. Who says, pray for Josh and whatever McMaster's handle is on the call-in show.
At Matt McMedia.
At Matt McMedia. Pray for us all. Pray for us all.
I get it. I know that there's going to be a lot of disgruntled people.
Oh,
yeah. And look, let's be honest. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. And so if you have an opinion and you want to get it off your chest, and if you're angry, I don't really blame you. I really don't blame you. I mean, I think that there were some expectations that you had for this team that just simply weren't met today. And I think the conversation of can they take the next step and can they beat the ranked team and can they break the streak? Look, this team simply just proved to you today that they can't, that they're not ready. And look, we can get into the argument of like, is this really the next step? Or there are other steps to take, so on and so forth. That's what the programming for the next 2 weeks will be about.
Yeah.
But for right now, they had an opportunity to answer the call, to reestablish themselves as, hey, this is what we're doing and we're heading in the right direction and have a proof of concept, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, we liked this game. We talked about it all week long because the team on the other side of the field in Michigan seemed like an opponent that you thought Nebraska was going to. I mean, it's a nice measuring stick game, right? But It wasn't Oregon. It wasn't Ohio State. It wasn't any of the Miami. It wasn't any of those teams. It was a Michigan team that, while obviously is more talented than you, and we saw that, they obviously can push you around. We certainly saw that today. Mm-hmm. They have their own issues, which we also saw, and they were without their head coach.
Yes.
And yet, Matt, they moved to 8-0 without their head coach now in the recent few years. 8-0.
Also, too, they were without their head coach and had some coaching calamities on the sideline. I mean, it was very apparent that they weren't with their head coach and that there were people. I mean, clearly, look, they should have called a timeout with 15 seconds left to not even allow Nebraska to throw the Hail Mary like that. In and of itself is a sin. I mean, it's just, if you thought that this team was ready to take the next step, they weren't.
Correct.
Simple.
Yeah.
Simple. And if you want to, and if you're mad about it, and if you feel like you got duped over it, then
give us a call. 402-951-1620 on the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline.
Look, and there are some points, and like you and I've talked about, like, oh, I bet somebody will say this, and we'll be like, all right, maybe I don't agree with that. But there are plenty of things that people are going to say today that I'm definitely going to be like, hey, yeah, you are right.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have done that.
Ben emails in as we kick this things off, and he says, as a fan base, we need to start believing our eyes and believing in ghosts. Big bright signs of exactly how we lost this game existed in weeks 1 through 3, but the vast majority of the talk this week is about how this was the big one and an opportunity that the team was ready for that would change everything. And the thing is that we do this every year. I understand why, because it's been a long, terrible stretch that we all wanted to get out of. But the thing about getting to the next level is it's about the product on the field now, and the product on the field has issues we shouldn't ignore. Yeah, I was someone who, before the year, 7-5, chalked this one up as an L for Nebraska. And by the time we got to this week, I was no longer chalking it up as an L. And perhaps, I talked about it with multiple media members this week towards the end of it, of like, am I not even missing something? Because I didn't miss what happened.
Sure.
Just were the blinders on towards the end of the week. And I'll admit, like, Michigan did what I thought they would do. I thought Nebraska would be able to have more success in areas. And look, already multiple tweets, multiple emails.
Yeah.
The first drive of the game, the missed field goal on the second drive. And there are 10 points that, ifs and buts, right? Like those were two massive drives.
Well,
and after that, Nebraska was chasing those points forever. They were chasing those drives forever because those were easily, the first drive was their most successful drive of the game, right? Non-garbage time, easily the best drive they had all day.
Well, they weren't just chasing those points. They were chasing the momentum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you imagine? So I got somebody texting me, said that stadium was louder, if not just as loud as when Colorado last year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they got out to a 10-point lead to begin the game?
I know. They had an opportunity.
That place would have been absolutely unglued with a true freshman quarterback under center, but yet no, it switched, it completely flopped into Michigan's lap. The momentum did when they missed that field goal. So they had ample opportunities to grab this game by the horns very early on. They failed to do it. And then they were incredibly, incredibly fortunate to be in the game
100%
toward the end.
Yep.
The amount of breaks that Nebraska got and weren't able to cash in on or weren't able to capitalize on, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it certainly was. Matt Rule will be speaking to the media very soon, so we will go to that as soon as possible. Before that, though, we're going to take a call, maybe two if we can. This episode is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. Big Red Overreaction also brought to you by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more, and by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. We begin with Derry, who has been on hold for the length of a sitcom episode, 30 minutes. Hello, Derry. Derry?
Yep.
All right, off to an 0-1 start. Let's see if Bobby will be there. Bobby, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
There? All right, where do I start? I'm going to keep it short and simple.
Yeah.
Michigan is not a great team. They're They're a top 25 team. Let's be honest here.
Sure.
Now we're seeing just how far the separation is Nebraska from being a top 25 team. We got manhandled out there today. Our offensive line.
Yeah.
When do we start questioning Donovan Raiola? This offensive line got their ass whipped up and down the field, and let's not make any bones about it. Can anybody say that there was any hope that offensive line was going to do anything great today?
Heading into the game,
I mean,
heading into the game, yes. But after this game, Bobby, you're totally right.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
I thought this offensive line was going to be something that rolled, but we just got rolled by a 21 ranked team. This ain't Ohio State. This ain't Miami. This ain't the top 10. This ain't even Iowa.
Yeah.
Or Illinois, sorry, not Iowa. But this is Michigan. They're sloppy. They got more talent than Nebraska, but that's the gap from where we're at. We're not even sniffing at the top 25 right now. We're kidding ourselves if we think we are. That's all I got to say, man.
Good call,
Thank you, Bobby. Bobby, really good call to kick things off at 402-951-1620, Jay Sinnott Contracting Hotline. And, there's going to be a lot of stories, Matt, that come out of this game, a lot of things that we're going to spend the next couple of weeks talking about. The offensive line for Nebraska, I would say, is one of the more disappointing things about the season so far. Like, I didn't think the run game was going to be a success story this year.
Sure.
I thought the offensive line was going to be a success story this year. And after how many drives were we all immediately thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a long one? And it was. Dylan Raiola sacked 7 times over the course of the day. And it actually could have been worse because there were other times
there was
where
three times where he made great plays to get out of it.
Yeah, they got to him multiple times and they were unable to finish the job, but they being the offensive line, really struggled. I thought Emmett Johnson ran hard in this game, especially early on.
Yeah.
The first versus the second half splits are going to be pretty bad. They were really bad for everybody until the last drive of the game as Nebraska goes down and Heinrich Harper gets that touchdown.
You're in a game like this and you kind of expect some things could go bad. I don't think anybody was fully expecting the offensive line to play as bad as they did. And now if you're looking at it from like a macro view, that's a problem that you didn't know that you had, that you now know that you have, which is always a groin kick, if you will.
Oh, interesting.
Like when you just walk.
Of another one-score loss, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's just when you walk in thinking, oh, you're pretty solid here, and then it turns out that you're not. That's exactly what happened to the Nebraska offensive line today.
KG says, I've been fuming about not taking the 3 points in the first part of the game. Always take 3, losing by 3. Let's go back to the phones. Max is here as we await Matt Rule. Hello, Max.
Gentlemen, thank you for taking my call this evening. And sorry if I'm kind of a bummer to the bummer here on the show, but I'm not feeling like a piss baby. Previous guy made a good point. There is that separation angle. Got pushed around. Our O-line got pushed around, but you're kind of looking at the size differential. I mean, I was watching on TV and I'm like, man, whoever that nose tackle or that guy in the middle of Michigan was huge. And to be able to be in the game, you got to put yourself in that position. And to get that Hail Mary right before halftime, was call what what
fortuitous.
It is, the luckiest thing that fortuitous. Good use of that word. But sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. But the dink and dunk plays were good. It would have been, a hell of a load for EJ to take, put that on his shoulders and have him, try to, punch back with the running game. I mean, Justice Haynes was as advertised. This game was as advertised. This was an excellent game. Receivers, not too many drops. That Gilman guy, should have been tossed. That guy, oh man, I mean, screw strength of schedule, man. I hope he just gets flamed. I hope he gets targeted. Not targeted to the head, but they target passes to him. The rest of the season, all their opponents. Because that guy just, man, if you're trying to be like that amicable, like nice Nebraska fan, that guy kind of took you out of that mindset. There at the end, but. I kind of put a little bit of it on, people aren't going to like me for saying this, but I put a little bit of it on Memorial Stadium there at the end. When it got very close there at the end, we hung in with the noise, but you could hear the lull in the crowd.
Yeah, I mean,
at about the 8-6 minute mark, and the CBS kind of honed in on some of the powders, and that I don't think that part's a good look.
Thanks, Max.
Yeah, I'm not.
Jason
buying,
at Contracting Hotline, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not buying the crowd thing. I don't think the crowd had anything to do with that. Thought that the crowd was really, really loud to begin. I thought they brought a lot of energy, and sometimes when your team doesn't make plays for you to deserve to keep cheering, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, it's the crowd's fault."
Yeah.
I'm not buying that. But I do buy some of the positivity, Matt. I do think that he makes some good points. I do think. Look, in every game you can take away some positive things. Okay, but I think there's way more on the other side.
Well, yeah,
way more.
Yeah, and like there's
nothing wrong with looking at the positive. There's nothing wrong.
No, but there was a tweet from one of our dear Iowa listeners, JD. We appreciate JD listening as he always does. What is Rule's record now against the top 25? Well, it's one game worse than it was, so he's now 2 whatever the number is, and Nebraska is now 0-28 in their last 28 games against ranked opponents, right? They still have not beaten a ranked opponent, going all the way back to the Oregon game in 2016, and that is one of the other brutal parts about this game, is that it seemed right there for the taking. It's actually from the 308. Hey, JP, does the glare hurt your eyes? Yeah, we're in the point of the fall now where I'm just ready for that sun to drop just a little bit more. Josh says, now we already lost it. Ja'Cory, literally the only positive from this game. We'll look for other positives as we go on, but he is certainly one of the bright spots on the offensive side of the ball. Wish that he wouldn't have fielded the punt inside of the 5. Yeah. And, otherwise, though, he had a nice game.
He had a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, he and also, too, I think something that we were asking for Ja'Cory was for him to get more vertical, and he legitimately got more vertical.
Yeah. Matt Rule is just about to the podium. Let's go to Lincoln right now and listen to the head coach of Nebraska talking about the loss.
Made the plays they needed to make. We certainly had our chances. We had to start off with a great drive, and they stopped us on, 4th and short, and as you guys know, made it even at halftime, and field was tilted against us in the second half. They made a long 56-yard field goal, which ended up being the difference in the game, and battle back. That last third, the third down was not the last one, but the second to last one. We had several chances to get off the field, 3rd and 16, I think 3rd and 14, whatever it was, 3rd and 15, couldn't make the plays, and so long stretches of that game where we couldn't protect, and number one, I thought for them was magnificent. I mean, Barsham was he was a handful. And thought we settled down as it went on and protected better for a while, but still some key moments where it wasn't good enough. And then obviously the run game for them, 2 plays in the first half, but just too many big plays to win a football game like that. So we battled. Appreciate the effort of the guys, but wasn't good enough.
You feel like their physicality was a factor on the last drive with the 3 third-down conversions that they had worn your defense down a bit?
No, we just missed a tackle, right? I mean, they throw a screen. I mean, they checked to a sprint out on third. We got them to the third down because before that, I think they were like 1 of whatever on third down. Got them in 3rd and 3. They saw the blitz. They looked to the sideline. They check. They run the sprint out. Pick route. We just have to tackle it. Then they ran a screen. They saw the blitz again. They ran a screen. John was being really aggressive, and we're 1-on-1 in the open field. So those missed tackles to me weren't necessarily about physicality as much as they were, their guy made a play in space, and, we have to make that play. And then, the 3rd and 15, they got him down in the red zone, got him down into field goal range. I thought was they just, made a good check and made 1 blocks. We have to make a tackle there. I thought we showed good physicality, obviously inside the 5, right? They had 1st and goal inside the 5, and the guys stopped them. So, it's going to be really easy to say like, oh, it was the D-line. I mean, there's plays where the safety's 1-on-1. He missed the tackle. I mean, we just got to, Haynes is an excellent back. I have utmost respect for him. He made the plays that you have to make to win those games. You look at what he did. I mean, he had 3 catches. He had all the carries. They couldn't throw the ball against us very well, but they certainly made the explosive run plays, and that's a factor of the entire defense.
On the quarterback draw and then the 54-yard touchdown, was there busts there, alignment issues?
No. We're in quarters. They go to quarterback draw. You have line movement, take away the empty draw. Someone has to get off and make a tackle. It's a tough play. It's a tough play against that. But if you're getting 5 wides and you run quarterback draw, it's going to be a tip play. You need a D lineman to make a play. We're going to have to, as a team, get past and I think they have. I mean, I'm not saying anything about our team, but we're going to have to get past the perfect call world. It's like you got you have a call, there's gonna be stress on someone, they're gonna have to make a play. And then, the long run, we ran some line movement, they blocked it, the ball gets to the safety, it's quarters, you have a fit safety, we just didn't make the tackle. So that's those defenses. You have to make that play in those defenses, and just 22 played well.
Talking about wanting to learn in the next few weeks, you can learn a lot from this game. What do you feel like your offensive line can learn, not only in pass protection, but maybe in some of the run blocking moments today?
Yeah, I didn't have a ton of issues with the run blocking. I mean, there's a couple times we checked to some runs, or we started going into a lot of RPOs in the game, and they had a hard time defending some of the passes when they had us give the run. I mean, there were some ones that split. There obviously were some ones that didn't, and so you're kind of hitting your head up against the wall for one or two games. But I don't know that I can say much about the run game yet without really watching it. It would just be reactionary. In pass pro, I thought there were times where we just gave them too much credit. We're backing up, we're catching them like, what are we going to do? And just not really being super physical, and not from a physical, like not trying to be physical, but just, not challenging it. And then all of a sudden we went on long stretches where we weren't, where we did protect. And then in the second half, I think some of that went away. So, they pressured us, they brought blitzes. They challenged our running backs. That's what they're good at. And, we knew going in the game, it would be about stopping the run and our ability to pass protect, getting to their quarterback. We got to their quarterback a couple of times, but just couldn't get into third long enough.
At the end of the half, just the decision to throw the Hail Mary, was that the plan, or did this kind of play out that way?
Well, it wasn't necessarily the plan. It was second and long. So, the last thing I wanted to do was give them the ball back, right? So I let the clock run down, I think, to 25 seconds and called timeout so that we could run a third down play. Third down play didn't work out quite what we wanted, right? So I anticipated them calling timeout and trying to make us punt. Luckily for us, our punter's, pretty good at getting outside the pocket, so I wasn't worried about a block, but I anticipated them calling timeout with 12 or 13 seconds and trying to block the punt. When they didn't do that, I let the clock run down to 1 and called timeout and said, throw the Hail Mary. So, the only thing to me about this game I didn't want to do is have any regrets that, we didn't try. We didn't try to play. I didn't want to go out there and play close. Now, when you're in the RPO world, sometimes like you're handing off, then you're handing off a second time and you're like, daggum, I really wanted to throw the ball there. But yeah, that was just hey, we're going to take our shot, and it worked out. So, again, once all the sadness dissipates on our end, there'll be a lot of things to build on in terms of, plays like that, plays where we jumped up and made a play. And those are the building blocks of hopefully getting to where we want to get to.
Is that really what's in your mind on the fourth down, on the first possession, is just, try, like you said, don't leave.
Well, the analytics, are overwhelmingly, analytics are 4th and 3 is a go, 4th and 4 you should go. So it's not even close, right? If you want to beat Michigan, you're gonna have to get those plays, right? We're gonna have to get those plays. That was a good. We ran a speed sweep with a quarterback read. You have 3 options there. It's kind of the same thing we did at the end, right? We just twice 4th and 1, and then at the goal line we're running RPOs. It's not. It's just we're not gonna trick our way into things. You got to play. You got to make the plays, right? So it's just like, we're going to give our guys a chance to make the play. On that one, unfortunately, we didn't, but then they punted the ball right back to us. We had the ball at the 30-yard line. So, similar to some of the things we talked about, right? Inside the 5, right? Like things we have to be better at. But at the same time, there are other times we did make the plays, the Hail Mary, the plays at the end, Heinrich's play at the end. So, but yeah, there's a lot of analytics that goes into it. And it's analytics tell you to be really, really, really aggressive, to be honest with you.
Sometimes when it comes to sacks, it's not always the offensive line's fault. You mentioned the running back missing something, or maybe the quarterback holding on too long. Do you feel like you need to remind fans that, hey, it's not all on the offensive line, because Nebraska fans, they tend to blame the offensive line a lot?
Yeah, I think the fans were elite today. It was an amazing crowd. I think, the last thing I have a right to do right now is say anything. There was too much pressure on the quarterbacks, too much sacks. I would say it's always a function of everything, but at the end of the day, they overwhelmed us some at times. I did feel like, though, the field got tilted against us a little bit in the second half. I did feel like we kind of progressed a little bit there. At the end of the first half, we moved the ball in the third quarter. So I'll have to go back and look at it. Again, I think number one for them is, he was an inside linebacker. They moved after last game to outside backer, and I thought he was, dominant last week. I think he's a dominant player. But there'll be a lot for us to learn from. But yeah, our fans are elite. They'll be back out here in 2 weeks when we play Michigan State. We'll have to just learn from this.
You mentioned the field was tilted. How critical was the sequence? So Barney was one of your best players today, but he fielded that one at the 2, and it kind of changed the field there.
Yeah, we don't want him to field that one at the 2. we also filled the one off the bounce and changed the field with the field position. He had another one later that I thought he was about to step out of. So, he'll be the first to tell you, I wish I wouldn't have caught it there, but we still had some plays there where we could have knocked it out. And then I thought Archie did an unbelievable job of spinning the field as best he could. Even the one time they got one or two first downs, and they make that long field goal. So, we just have to make another play or two. I mean, honestly, it sounds boring, but step out of one, make a tackle here, and all of a sudden the game changes. And that's, you go back and forth in a Big Ten game like that. I mean, it ends up 30-27. It's, get the onside kick. You couldn't have told me we weren't going to go down and score. I mean, the way we're playing. So, you just have to make one or two more plays.
Did you think that the Hail Mary to tie it at halftime was going to give you a big momentum boost coming out in the second half?
Yeah, but I just not. I mean, I think our guys were emotionally very invested in it. It wasn't like a lack of effort. I thought, they had the quarterback run, right, which is a good run, and someone has to get off and make a great elite play. We covered them all day, right? I mean, there was no big plays in the passing game, so we did that well. We had to make a couple more tackles in the run game. I mean, it's a big time back, and he hurt us. We can't walk away from that. I thought when it got even, but still the issues are the issues, right? Hey, we're having a hard time protecting the pocket. We're having a hard time stopping the run in all areas. So, I was just going to get to halftime and say, hey, what do we do? I mean, even at the end, we had 3 or 4 third downs, right? So I don't know what they finished on third down. I think 3 of them were on the last drive, right? And 3 of them were third and long. So you make one of those plays, the game changes. And so, but we didn't. And so we just moved forward. But yeah, I thought, at the end of the day, like we're playing to win. So we took our shot at that play, and it worked.
Coach, you think, obviously not the result, but do you think this team has grown and you like where you guys are at?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't like where we're at right now. I feel like someone, hit me with a hammer right now. I mean, I wanted to win the football game, and I thought we would win the football game. It's like anything else. There's things that we're exposed that have to be improved, or we won't be the team that we want to be. There's other things that I thought were excellent, and so it just, it's just going back and methodically the same process, the same approach we had after games we've won, lost, the games we won. Like I told the team, like I watched Georgia, Tennessee, and Georgia beat Tennessee last week, a game that Tennessee probably should have won. I didn't leave saying like, oh, Tennessee's done. I mean, it's just, hey, we're gonna have to improve this and improve that, and ascend from there. So I'm sure we're disappointed, but you know what? We're gonna play a bunch more games. So we'll get back to work, and like I said, I thought the guys, they competed. The other team competed as well. Michigan competed as well. So I thought that was a good Big Ten football game. Just we came out on the wrong end of it.
Bud, this game today, what y'all on the tunnel? Just what that mean to you?
Well, I'm disappointed we didn't get the win for Bud. But I thought it meant a lot that he would show up for us. He could be anywhere he wanted to be in the world right now if he wanted to, and he chose to be here with us. And so, I know it's disappointing, but I will say, like I saw the wrestling team out there celebrating what they did. I saw, obviously Bud Crawford was there. I think it was a great day to celebrate Nebraska and all the amazing things that are here. Hopefully our volleyball team wins tonight as well. And I think, in the time that we're in right now, Bud's a unifying force for the people in the state of Nebraska. So very grateful that he would be there. I wish we could have done our part a little bit better, but, at the end of the day, I hope people appreciate that we're working and the guys gave their all. We just have to get a little bit better. Thanks.
That is Matt Rule at the press conference in Lincoln. And this episode of Big Red Overreaction as Nebraska falls to Michigan is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Also brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Supporting sponsors of Big Red Overreaction this season are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts, and brought to you by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. There's been some wild stuff happening that people perhaps were playing longer and winning more there at Prairie Flower today as Oklahoma gets a safety against Auburn at the end for the cover. And so Oklahoma wins that game by 7. All right, Dave, Andy, Mike, Jim, and George, stay right there on the Jay Stennett Contracting Hotline. We will go to you when we return. Nebraska falls to the Michigan Wolverines by a score of 30-27. Matt McMaster alongside me. I'm Josh Peterson. Peter Krenzer answering your phone calls today at 402-951-1620. BROR rolls on next on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized solar air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy Systems provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more. Driving industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships, let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air systems today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Get into Prairie Flower Casino and get in the game. Prairie Flower has hundreds of the hottest slot machines along with the PFC Sportsbook and your favorite live table games. Looking for a bite in the beverage? You'll love all our options, including Sky Bar and Grill with nonstop sports on our wall-to-wall TVs and the friendly service you know and love. Play longer, win more at Prairie Flower Casino, just minutes north of downtown Omaha. Must be 21. Please bet responsibly.
Sunday morning is all about church, bacon, and the Sunday paper. Right next to church and bacon, Sunday's made for hot takes and reactions on Severe Reaction. Join me, Michael Severe, Sunday on 1620 The Zone with Severe Reaction from 8 to 10 after every game. What went right, what went wrong, and an honest take on what happened on game day. We'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours. Severe Reaction, Sunday mornings from 8 to 10, powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Nebraska Medicine, together, extraordinary, on 1620 The Zone.
When it comes to protecting your home, J. Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, J. Stennett Contracting has you covered. This fall, consider gutter guards to block debris and prevent clogs and save you the hassle of regular maintenance. Schedule a consultation today and let J. Stennett Contracting's expert team and durable
adult mentor to meet with them once a week in school. Thank you for your support of Teammates Mentoring. We will see you at Runza on September 23rd.
Now back to Big Red Overreaction, presented with limited commercial interruption by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Welcome back, Big Red Overreaction on 1620 The Zone. 1019 The Keg is brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. It is also brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Our title sponsors here this season of Big Red Overreaction. Lots of commentary, lots of people commenting on Matt McMaster's hairline. Many compliments in the chat. Shout out. Well, it's just one guy over and over.
But now
and
Bruce
over.
has said Matt's hairline has 3 years at best. Okay.
Whoa.
Now, my friends at Biotane, who I'm not sponsored by, but I'm using their product. It's working.
How's that going for you?
It's going great.
That's good. That's good. We are also brought to you by great supporting sponsors like Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. All right, let us return To the Jay Sinek contracting hotline. Sam wants to know, why am I hiding my hair? I'll take off my hat as I put Jim on the line, and we can all take a look at my luscious locks at the age of 37. I'm feeling pretty good right now, folks. Jim, what's going on? You're on Big Red Overreaction.
Well, good afternoon, guys. Let me tell you what. Number one, we have improved. But number two, how many passes did we throw beyond 25 yards?
Not too many.
We threw two. We threw two.
Oh, thanks for having the data.
Yeah, one went for a touchdown, and the other went for a 25-yard gain.
Wait, what about the PI? That was down the field.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that too. Okay, but the point is, the way to slow down a rush, which Michigan was going all out on, is twofold. Number one, you throw screen passes, which we didn't throw too many of, but then you throw the ball deep. And what do you mean you throw the ball deep to slow down a rush? You slow down a rush by throwing the ball deep because you have your receivers one-on-one with their DBs, and you have faith in your receivers that they will catch the pass. And we never did that. We have a dink and dunk offense with a 5-star quarterback with great receivers, and we're not using them. And that is what we need to do to beat a team like Michigan, because we have to open up the offense. We can't be scared of what we are facing, and that's what we did today. So that's all I've got to say. You guys you have a great show, and we'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Thank you, Jim. What do you think about the screen commentary then from Jim on the Jay Stinnett contracting hotline? Because they tried early on, and Michigan blew it up a couple of times.
I did think that they had some success with them throwing the unders and then throwing some slants. I mean, they had success with short passing plays. Okay. So I'm not going to say, I would like some more short passing plays. Also, too, we are coming from an era of Nebraska football where there were too many screens, and we were always complaining about how many screens were being thrown.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The short yard, mixing up the short yardage passing game and having more of a variant look in it is not something that I'm concerned over. I am concerned over, and I think we have a valid concern. If you were already concerned after it with the Cincinnati game, if you were worried about the deep throw and deep passing,
sure.
After this game, I still think that's amplified now. I don't think you can just say, because people said for the Cincinnati game, well, they run this this shell, right? Okay, well, it's not like, does everybody run that shell? The Nebraska just isn't able to throw the ball deep. At some point, regardless of what the other team is throwing, you should have the athletes and ability and quarterback and accuracy to stretch the ball downfield. And that's exactly what was the reason they had to dink and dunk in part was because they did not have the open routes all the time down the field, and they didn't have the time in the pocket
and today,
for it to develop.
Yeah, so, the long it was the 52-yarder, of course, the Hail Mary. Other than that, it looks like the long was a 23-yard gain to Lindenmeyer.
I mean, it's
not like that was an air yard play.
Yeah, if you had a legitimate concern about the deep passing game after the Cincinnati game, that got amplified. Honestly, every concern that you might have had after the Cincinnati game
100%.
Got amplified.
100%. 100%.
The D-line got amplified. Not having a superstar running back got amplified. Not being able to throw the ball deep got amplified. The run defense got amplified.
301 says, no, you're fine. Why does Josh have to scream in 5 octave louder than anyone else? I don't know. Why don't you put your name on your text? I apologize. Let's go back to the phones. George is up next here on Big Red Overreaction on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg, brought to you by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. George, hello.
How are you guys doing? That was let me just guys, I'm just gonna go off. I listen to Matt Rule every week talk about how the standard is the standard.
Uh-oh.
And last week we're playing Houston Christian, and we start off the game and we drive down the field and we take a field goal. Now I know that it might have been different. I don't know if we were stopped at the 2 or 3 yard line, but this week we go out on the first drive and we get stopped into a 4th and whatever it was, 2, and we go 1 and we go for it and we don't get it, and it's just I want some consistency. If you're going to take the field goals, and especially in a game like this where every point matters, Matt Rule constantly reinforces that the Big Ten games are all about big plays. They're all about certain plays in certain moments. That is the big play. Those 3 points, who knows? I know obviously the 3-point loss. Who knows how Michigan played at the end of the game? How much of that was influenced by them being up by 10 points? But, we lost by 3. Beyond that, we have 2 left. We have 2 tackles, Teddy Prohaska and Gunnar Gatula, who absolutely got annihilated today.
Yeah.
I mean, just annihilated. And I heard the previous caller talking about deep passes. You can't throw deep passes when a team is rushing 4 guys, has 7 guys dropping back in coverage, okay? And your offensive line can't even give the quarterback more than 2 seconds to throw the ball. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. And especially at the end of the game when Dylan Raiola is giving Dane Key a chance on a one-on-one ball, and he quits on the route. I mean, I don't know what people expect. Raiola's playing his butt off. That kid is an unbelievable football player. And I don't think Nebraska fans and me and other people realize how lucky we are to have that kid. Because if we didn't have him, we would have lost this game by 4 touchdowns. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and take care. Thank you so much.
George, thanks for the call, man. Dylan is probably going to get crapped on by a lot of people tonight. I will not be one of those people that craps on him. I wish that his clock internally was a little faster at times, but also, I mean, Matt and I watched the second half together. And what did I say a lot? Step up into the pocket. But you know what? The pocket often wasn't there for him to even step up into. Like when you have guys coming around the edges, you want the quarterback to be able to step up and use that. There was nothing there, though. He finished with 308 yards, 41 attempts, 30 completions, above 70%. Look, he had some rough passes early. The interception was bad. And that was his 3rd or 4th turnover-worthy play of the game. And it finally resulted in a turnover. I just don't know what you want beyond the answer being a guy who can run around. And if that's your answer, then there's nothing that I can offer you other than it's not going to be the guy that you want it to be. Look, there are positives and negatives that he has, but I think his positives do ultimately outweigh the negatives. But maybe I'm the idiot.
He's not Joe Montana. He sure as hell ain't the problem.
Yeah.
Is he perfect?
I would start with a lot of other things tonight.
Like he would be so far down.
Yeah,
on the list.
Yeah. Maybe we should do that later. Let's rank the 10 things.
Also, too, there were 3 other sacks that could have occurred that he
got away from.
Literally, on one of them, on one of the biggest plays of the first half that set up the field goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of the 25+ yard passes that he had that another caller was referring to. He literally shrugged off a Michigan cornerback.
That was incredible.
Put him on the ground, stood his ground, and threw a pass. So, is he perfect? No. Is he good?
Yes.
Done. End of convo.
Bigger Overreaction is brought to you by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. Let's go back to the phone. Andy is up next, and this call is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. Hello, Andy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Not the one we wanted. Typical big game Nebraska. So, I'm gonna stack on George. We should be throwing down the fields. The running game started good and all that, but my biggest problem is the D. We saw what Michigan did. They can't catch balls.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, stack that box. Come on, guys. 3 plays beat us tonight. 3 plays beat us. 3 runs. And it's sad, I want us to win, and you know what? It's not the end of the world, though. We're gonna beat teams, and have a good night, boys.
Thanks, Andy. When you write in cursive, you know how the words that flow into each other,
and an N becomes an M. And an R might become an S.
That was the phone call.
Or you might have a heavy Tennessee accent.
That was the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. We appreciate the phone call. 402-951-1620. A listener that I never know what to refer to him as, so I'll just say John, Senator John. I won't finish the rest of his handle. Writes, this bleep totally pisses me off.
It should.
He adds, there is no excuse to not have the players. They have more money than God down there, and we have a full roster of 3rd stringers at every position. It really upsets me in an effed up way. Eyes don't lie. 3rd stringers.
Yeah, I don't.
Your thoughts, Matt?
Look, I don't agree with that. But
I wouldn't go that far.
I
wouldn't go that far.
This is a 30-27 game that very easily could have been a 34-17 game.
Yeah, it certainly could have. That Hail Mary is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Back to the phones. We go. Mike is up next. Hello, Mike.
Hey, guys. I hope you give me a little bit of leeway on here because I had been writing some things down as I've been on.
You're like Matt doing your prep.
Yeah. I'm like the emailer that you just read. I'm pissed and I'm frustrated. And the thing that I was going to mention last, I'm going to go ahead and move to the front.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know why. First and foremost, I'm going to say I support Coach Rule. I'm glad he's here. And I'll support him until he's no longer here. But at some point, somebody, whether it's the athletic director, all the staff that you have, Coach Rule himself, the rest of the coaching staff, these guys need to understand we are in the Big freaking 10. And this has been a problem in previous coaching staffs as well, because I don't think they recruit like they are in the Big 10.
Hey, Mike, not to interrupt, but I'm curious, like, what exactly are you talking about specifically about that?
Well, specifically, I'm talking about they don't. We recruit offensive linemen and bring offensive linemen here, but our offensive line play, and today was atrocious. Our offensive line play for years, for decades, has been atrocious. We don't consistently put guys. Take a pick of a Big Ten school that's out there. They got big hoss dudes out there that go to the NFL repeatedly every year. And other than like Cam Jurgens, we don't routinely put people out there. And in order to win in the Big Ten, you got to win the offensive line of scrimmage and you got to win the defensive line of scrimmage. Last year, our run defense was good because of Nash and Ty. They're not here. And this coaching staff did nothing in the off season. They brought in Newary, but as far as up front to stop the run, we don't have those big hoss dudes, 300-pound dudes like Michigan did across from us. We don't have that, and that ain't coming this year.
No.
So I see what Michigan did today, and I see going into Big Ten play and some of the teams that we're going to play in the Big Ten. It's going to be a problem. You guys were mentioning stuff about stuff that showed up in Cincinnati where we're like, maybe it was first team jitters. No, this showed itself ugly again today. It's a problem.
Yep.
And this problem, I don't think is can't get fixed. You can't scheme the fact that you don't have a 300-pounder on the defensive line.
Yep.
You can't scheme that out of there. Like that's going to be an issue as the season goes on. And it pisses me off that the coaching staff and or anybody else above them doesn't understand that in Big Ten play, when you get into Big Ten play and you want to beat the Big Ten best, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, USC, you got to have the hosses up front, and we don't. And accountability. I watched Gunner get put on skates for that first quarter, and he got yanked, and they put in that transfer from Alabama.
Yeah.
But Prohaska was out there all day long, getting murdered all day long. Where is the accountability for him? Like, at what point do you say, this ain't working, we need to try? And all we've been hearing all summer, right, was they got a lot of depth on the line. Let's see it, because those two guys struggled immensely today. And, there was no pulling them out and having somebody else have a shot at it.
Thanks for the call, Mike, at 402-951-1620.
We talked about it at the round table. I said Michigan is more talented. I don't think anybody pushed back on that.
100%.
And look, over the last 3 years, 2024, 2025, 2026, Michigan, their average recruiting ranking, 13th. Nebraska, during those 3 years, 22nd.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he was talking about there. I mean, if you're going to beat Tier 1 programs, eventually you do have to get Tier 1 recruits, but there are other problems, and also there are other programs who get less talent than Nebraska who are able to beat Nebraska. And so there's a give and take there.
Yeah, for sure. Multiple cancel the podcast tweets and comments coming in from the folks. Bigger Overreaction, title sponsors this season, Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Also, Bigger Overreaction this year is brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. More phone calls to get to when we return. Dave, stay right there. You are up next. Jason, Matt, Brendan, and Gus Johnson. The All-American girl. I figured you would do that. And more. We have texts to read. We have tweets to read. Some emails to read. We have so many comments to read. We'll do as many as we can. We appreciate you joining us. Bigger Overreaction here on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
When it comes to protecting your home, Jay Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, Jay Stennett Contracting has you covered. This fall, consider gutter guards to block debris and prevent clogs and save you the hassle of regular maintenance. Schedule a consultation today and let Jay Stennett Contracting's expert team and durable gutter guards ensure your gutters are working properly in every season. Jay Stennett Contracting. We have you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
At Dingman's, we understand that when you bring your vehicle to us, you're entrusting us with your safety and peace of mind. As part of this community, we're here to look after you and your family, just like we would our own. Our skilled technicians ensure every detail is handled with care, and our personal touch sets us apart. As your neighbors and fellow community members, we take pride in caring for the vehicles that keep our community moving. Locally owned and locally trusted. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit dingmans.com.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
It's Big Red Overreaction, brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Big Red Overreaction continues in 1 minute on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Life gets hectic, and that can pull away from your wellness goals. So when you finally focus on your health, why get lost in a sea of impersonal options? Discover No Name Nutrition, your family-owned health food haven. With personalized service, we'll guide you to the best choices for your journey. Visit NoNameNutrition.com today, 144th and Center, or North 72nd Street.
No Name Nutrition, the natural place to shop.
It's football season, so grab your friends and make Sky Bar and Grill your football HQ. Feel like you're in the games while watching our massive TV walls and large screen TVs. Enjoy all your favorite beverages and food options with your group and place your bets with a PFC Sportsbook to cash in. All with the friendliest service around. Get in the game at Sky Bar and Grill, located inside Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more at Prairie Flower Casino, just minutes north of downtown Omaha. Must be 21. Please bet responsibly.
This week, Friday Night Football heads west for a pivotal Class B matchup as the Gretna Dragons take on the Bennington Badgers. Join me, John Schreiner, and Matt McMaster for pregame at 6:45, kickoff at 7. Friday Night Football is on 1620 The Zone.
Now back to Big Red Overreaction, presented with limited commercial interruption by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. And by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster here on Big Red Overreaction, brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Also brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We appreciate you joining us on this Saturday night. Nebraska falls to the Wolverines of Michigan 30-27, and we have more phone calls to take, and we will get to those very, very shortly. This episode is brought to you by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. Also brought to you by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. A lot of people talking about Matt's hairline. That's why we're going to go back to the phones and move on from the hair talk. It is End Zone Dave on the Jay Stennett Contracting Hotline. Hello, End Zone Dave.
Well, I, for one, am bald, and I think it might be due to my watching Husker football.
Oh.
Anyway, like Matt said, man, it really was an amalgamation of every single thing, honestly, we thought could go wrong in the season. The lack of a depth at running back and the defensive line. It was lamented here in this game. EJ looked so tired, so tired. His legs just did not look fresh whatsoever. And let me just shout out, like you said, Dylan. Dylan is an absolute dog, and we have to appreciate it. That kid was running for his absolute life today. And Ja'Cory Barney has, I think, cemented himself as probably one of the top three best players on this team. But yeah, absolutely brutal. Rule. He can keep talking out of the side of his mouth. The game was there to be had. That painful 15-play drive with 3 third downs to end the game. I wonder what
Oh
he's
my
going to do.
gosh,
Pierre,
man.
right? He's supposed to be one of our best players on the team. He missed a huge tackle.
Yes,
he missed
did.
a huge
That was the
tackle.
first one, right? That was the
Game
first down of the drive, Dave.
I think so. I'm trying to keep up there. But you guys are great. Keep doing it.
Thanks, man.
It is end zone day because those end zone look like Rutgers. They do, and they do. God bless you. Go Big Red. Let's beat Michigan State. Hope everybody's healthy. Carter Nelson should have had that onside kick as well.
Wow.
So,
Dave,
That's a
shout
great,
out.
That's
What
a
call.
great little ending.
We have not talked about that last drive. That was an incredibly disappointing finish. Michigan chewed up over 8 minutes. It ended with a field goal. There were 3 third downs on that drive, and the first 2 of them, Matt, Nebraska had opportunities to make tackles. He mentioned Sierra Wright. On the next one, was it McCullough? Who I don't know what happened.
I
on
know,
that
and he
play.
had such a good game.
Yeah, I know he did. And he had such a good angle as well.
He could be a beast. God, he makes some plays where it's
He had the first sack of the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he came off kind of free, but then he also had another couple really good plays as well. I don't know. It's just
Bigger Reaction is brought to you by Dingman's
just
Collision
so-
Center
that's
Mechanical
just the
Repair.
best way to
That's a
describe
noise somebody would make if their car, oh man, I crashed into something. Well, you know what? Stop by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair and get that vehicle fixed, Matt.
I just had to get it out.
Well, never mind. I was going to make a joke. Let's go back to the phones. Brendan up next on the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. Brendan, hello.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. Really, when it comes down to me, it was strategic calls. Specifically, our first drive went down. We should have made the 3-pointer. We should have not gone for it. We're talking about one of the best defensive lines in the country. And the thing is, though, when it comes down to it, that 3-pointer could have changed the whole game by itself.
Yeah.
And as well, same with our own offensive line, Teddy Procasta, pronounce his name right. I don't want him to see in the game. He's too lanky. He's too tall. I want to see Pritchett. Be honest with you, yes, Pritchett, in my opinion, did not make that false start. That offsides in the beginning of the game was not his fault. And when it comes down to it, Pritchett, we spent $1 million on this guy. This guy's an Alabama level 4 to 5-star lineman. Why are we not using him? He did one mistake over in the Cincinnati game. We should use him a lot more, specifically on tackle. But when it comes to defense as well, if you look specifically on our defensive line did well when we stacked the box. Specifically, like it was a 5-man or a 4-man front. We stacked the holes, and that's when like Haynes didn't come through or anything like that, or number 23 as well. But when we went in the zone coverage and let our linebackers back off from the line, that's when they opened up the holes. It's not that hard. It's basic common sense, and it's always going to come back as well back to the coach rule and also Holgerson on using strategic calls, specifically on a 4th down that should have gone to the field goal. That would have probably changed a lot of the game, in my opinion. If that had happened, it would have probably been tied and probably go to overtime. And I absolutely love Raiola. Raiola did phenomenal. Bryce Underwood was not good at all. He went for 12 for 23, only 105 yards. And I was always told that this guy was going to be better or as good as Raiola. And I think Raiola played his heart out. Our rushing offense looked all right, but our passing offense looked phenomenal. But when it comes down to our line needs to hold there, same with our defensive line as well. Needs better coaching, and we need more players specifically stacking the box.
Thank you for the call, Brendan, at 402-951-1620. Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline.
We said it would be a all hands on deck effort to stop the run. Yeah. And I think that the secondary, and the safeties in particularly, I mean, there were some of those bigger runs that they just did not do a good job fitting.
Underwood rush.
Yeah.
And the Haynes rush of 75 yards at the end of the
Buford
first
just
half.
took a bad angle.
It's a lot of room there.
Frustrating.
D. Brown writes, it could have been worse. Michigan gave y'all a lot. Go Blue.
They did. They gave them so much.
I thought Nebraska, for the most part, I thought they responded fairly well. There was a moment early when I think it was the interception or it was like a 3-and-out around there where Dylan Raiola was going over to the bench and things were not going very well. I think he had gotten sacked again, and he had this like kind of 1,000-yard stare going on, and I'm just thinking, okay, this is quite the moment. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're
talking about. I
texted
my group chat. Dylan has a 1,000-yard stare right now, and I was just thinking, this is quite the opportunity for things to go one way or the other. And this is not moral victories. Like I'm so done with moral victories.
Yeah,
but I was pleasantly surprised, and that is the lowest compliment you can give anybody. pleasantly surprised that they didn't roll over in that moment because it really did seem like this thing is about to get away from them, but then they get the turnover and things get so weird at the end of the first half.
So they go ahead, they tie the game 10-10, and there is a moment for about 3 minutes maybe where I'm thinking, this is a different team.
Yeah.
This is a different program.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, in the past, they go down 10-0, the air gets sucked out of the building, and you know exactly this is going to end up being 34-10 or whatever it is.
It's a funeral tonight.
And they end up tying the game, and you're like, all right, like, standard is the standard. You know, you're like, here's the culture. And then what do?
Right down the field.
75-yard touchdown.
Yep. Boop.
And you're
All right.
like, oops, okay. You know, I guess not.
Not great. Not great. Adam texting into the show, 402-951-1620. Couple things. Says offensive line, defensive line are a major concern. Major work needs to be done on the current unit and in recruiting. Skill positions and back seven on defense are okay. Have to fix the offensive line and defensive line, or we'll never break through in games like this. There's a reason Pritchett isn't at Alabama anymore. People need to quit talking like he's great. He just got abused as everyone else today on the offensive line. Yeah, like I would say, like, let's pump the brakes on. First of all, he played a lot.
He did.
So we don't even have to be like, hey, get him out there more. He played a lot. He is obviously not a perfect player.
Have you ever seen anybody so frantic on getting off of the line?
Frantic.
Like he's so panicked, it looks like that. Like he's always standing up, like out of the stance. Like I think like part of the reason he has the false starts is like he's so worried about his get off and like getting to a spot that he's like, I don't know. Maybe this is just me, but I'm watching him. I would love to, like, a former O lineman maybe to like watch it.
Don't you talk to one on your radio show?
Yeah, but
Friday?
that's not till Friday. But like I would like somebody to
text
tweet
him. You would give him his number?
Yeah, I would love it actually.
Right.
Like well, maybe I'll text him later. But like
you got a show to do.
It's just one of those things though where I just kind of looking at it, a non-former player, like non-offensive lineman, but like I look at him and it just seems like he's worried to like get off. Like he's like very, very like panicked to do it. Yeah. And then like that causes his false starts and it causes like, you know, maybe some of the things that don't make him as good as he could be.
Tyler writes, I'll donate if Josh bullies Matt the rest of the show. Bruce also said, Josh, you and Matt have great chemistry, FYI. Wow, thank you very much. We don't have supers. Nick Grimm doesn't allow us to have super chats, so sadly you can't send us any super chats. Otherwise, I'd be happy to bully Matt. Let's go back to the phones. Gus is up next on the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline on Big Red Overreaction. Hello, Gus. Uh-oh. Oh, man, we can't even make Gus Johnson. Bye, Gus! Back to the phones we go on the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. Jason is up next. Hello, Jason.
Hey, boys. Thanks for being around to listen to us complain about football.
Happy to be here, Jason.
No, you're not.
I love chatting with Matt. I love working with Matt. It's a good time.
You don't like the callers?
And I love the callers.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm disappointed with the result of the game, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't think Nebraska would win, but they, you know, in their fashion, they gave us hope. But it sort of felt desperate for most of the game, like especially the offensive play calling was desperate.
What do you mean by that?
We wouldn't commit to one thing or the other. It was just like, let's try to score right away, or like make as many yards right now instead of establishing an offensive identity, which fine. I'm sort of talking out of my b-hole because, you know, they scored 27 points, which is great.
But I understand what you mean by that. Yeah, like it not that it feels fake to you, but one of them was on a Hail Mary and the other was garbage time.
Yes. Now, in the Matt Rule media
press conference
situation, yes, a member of like a media member said like that the fan base was disappointed in the O-line.
Yes, that was an interesting question, wasn't it, Jason?
Why would you blame the fan base?
Bang.
Yeah, we had a Jason, thank you for the call. We had a look We had a look in here during that question.
We both look like Scooby-Doo when he smells something. Yeah. We were
Or like you when you're spraying stuff in the studio earlier because you farted.
Okay. You didn't have to bring that up,
You
right?
didn't have to spray. I wouldn't have noticed anything.
You would have. It was
pretty bad.
No good.
Chris says you guys have about as much chemistry as Lutovsky and EJ on the screenplay. That ain't true.
We're not that bad.
Well, okay. Thanks for Matt for picking me up there. All right.
You said that you would bully me if you got paid for it.
I mean, sure, I'll do anything for some cash.
I could quote it, Peter.
Yeah.
Put it on the hot take board.
Let's go back to the phones. Here is Matt on Big Red Overreaction, which is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Now, there are two Matts right now, so this is Matt number one. Hello, Matt.
Well, Matt number one, thank you.
Boom.
Gentlemen, you're cracking me up today. I'm trying not to laugh. You guys got me going.
Good.
Great tonight.
Thank
you. My one thing, after a loss like this, I try to reevaluate what the season could be. And I kind of did it a little bit differently, talking to my dad. Is there anybody on our schedule that we play the rest of the year, obviously, outside of Penn State that Michigan would not beat and beat handily? Just kind of trying to get a little positive out of there because I think, most everything is still in front of us. And I think Michigan could beat everybody handily on our schedule outside of Penn State.
Okay.
Kind of looking at that. I didn't know what you guys thought about that.
Well,
Thank you.
Yeah, Matt, thanks for the call. What's great is that Michigan's next game is against USC. Is it not?
Perfect.
Like,
it is.
We are about to learn because, of course, Nebraska is going to play USC. Now, for Michigan, it's going to be a road game. USC is going to come into Lincoln. But we're going to learn something right away. Now, that's an interesting matchup. We saw it last year. That game was very, very close. Michigan actually ended up winning that game in Ann Arbor.
They shouldn't have, but they did.
100% different styles of football, of course. Michigan is going to do what they did today. And USC, it seems like they have found themselves again. Let's find out when they kick off in 3 hours on the West Coast against
That's
Michigan
crazy.
State. Yeah,
they're going to get killed, by the way. They look terrible. Michigan State.
Yeah.
They are. That will not.
Oh, no, you're
go
Aiden
well.
Childs.
Well, yeah, they're
By the
playing
way, a lot of Matt McFarter jokes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
thanks for that, Josh. Great for the
Also,
brand.
Brian called us two woke libs. Your thoughts?
No thoughts. So, over to you though.
Yeah,
you had some strong opinions on Michigan. I think we all did, but I think yours kind of resonated a little bit with me more. Do you think Michigan is a better team after what they did against Nebraska? Has your opinion on Michigan changed, or do you think this was more of a Nebraska problem?
By the way, a muff punt from Illinois. Indiana, they scored. It's not going to count. They're going to have first and goal. Never mind. They gave him the touchdown. Interesting. Cool. Oh, no. I don't know what that was. Either way, they have the ball. I don't know. I don't want to revisionist history myself and say, like, Josh, why did you think the game was going to go this way? I think Bryce Underwood is very talented. He throws the ball 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Oh my God, he's like Nolan Ryan.
He's like
Brett Favre.
He's very talented. I think the team has limitations. Their schedule actually does set up to be pretty manageable.
Yeah, big time.
And it'll be good, in my opinion, for them to get their head coach back so they don't have weird crap like at the end of the first half. I don't know, TBD. I think that they're going to be a pain in the butt for a lot of teams, and they could beat Ohio State because they own them.
But the reason I asked the question is because it does then reflect toward Nebraska, where you kind of look at yourself and say, yeah, and I think we can agree with this. A lot of the things that happened in this game were more reflective toward the shortcomings of the Huskers as opposed to Michigan just being better and being this dominant college football playoff
And isn't
team.
that always the rub with these games where it's like, some people say, why don't you guys say something nice about Michigan versus just being critical of Nebraska?
But watching this game, I think that there's plenty, I think the criticism toward Nebraska is completely warranted.
Well, I mean, people keep bringing up Cincinnati. I'm just bringing up before the season started. You and I had conversations about the defensive line and would they be able to do certain things. There was a great call a few minutes ago and we went to break it, so we never had a chance to dive back into it. But he brought up, look at the size. What did he keep saying? He hit it like 3 or 4 times. The word that he used for the size of the players. Hoss. Yes, he didn't say hogmaw. He said Hoss. And so, that was true. That was a problem that I looked at in the offseason and said, this is going to be really hard. And yet, man, today, it sometimes looked way worse than I even thought it would.
I know we want to get to one more caller, but my co-host continues to say, I thought that this team would be this, and I still think this team is going to be that. And Gary and I haven't really dove into it because we haven't had the opportunity to, and I think we will.
Because it's a Saturday.
But you haven't been surprised by anything. There hasn't been like a pleasant surprise of like, oh, I didn't think Nebraska was able to do that.
Point. Yeah, from a positive perspective with Nebraska.
There's been no turnaround of like, oh, I'm surprised that the D-line is really good. None of that has happened.
If there's a surprise right now, it's that like Archie Wilson has completely lived up to, if not exceeded, the hype that we came into the season with. But like that's a punter.
No offense to Archie, man. You're the last guy on my list that I would want that to occur.
Yeah, you want the guys living up to the hype.
You want to be like, oh my God, Cam Linhart's a second-round pick.
Lindenmeyer, is he a positive surprise? He's been pretty good.
Sure, but at the same time, we thought that the tight end room was going to be pretty good, and we saw what he did against in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah, we definitely did. Bigger Overreaction is brought to you by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. One call before we go to break. It's Joel. Hello, Joel.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, this is probably going to be a bad take, but I wanted to kind of throw this out there. Really, at the end of the day, kind of impressed with our composure and how we came back and kept it a game when it probably couldn't have been one. But here's the bad take, I guess. Can we talk a little bit about how maybe the Donovan Raiola hire or retainer,
retention,
him being maybe holding us back? Maybe he was only kept on for one reason, and that was to get number 15. And then my second take after you guys answer that question is probably a little bit worse, but I'll let you answer that first. So,
well, here, do you want to give us your other take before we hang up on you?
Yeah, give us your other take.
Oh, right. Well, I guess I just don't quite understand why our timeouts are a little bit haywire. And we kind of run a lot of time off the clock when we're kind of in the crunch moments. We just let, last year we let an awful lot of time run off the clock before we took a timeout. And then today we also let, 23 seconds slip away. And appreciate you guys taking my call.
Thank you for the call, Joel. All right, so we hit on two things there. Let's go in reverse order. So we'll begin with the time management. I would just say, and this is maybe just low-hanging fruit, easy to say, I just don't think he's very good at it. I don't think Matt Rule is very good at it. This has been a problem since he got to Nebraska, and it always shows itself.
I can't stand the whole, we're going to take a timeout because we have to reorganize in the second half.
The wild part about the timeout that they took was there was confusion. They had 11 guys on the field. It wasn't even 12. Because for a moment, Gary and Nessler were like, "Oh yeah, they have 12 guys on the field," and then I'm like, "Wait a second, there's 10 guys, and then he's standing there. That's 11."
There's multiple times where you can point where it's like they just take a random ass timeout in the second half because for whatever reason they're unorganized. Just great teams don't do that.
And then the first half of the call was Donovan.
I'm not off yet. No. My Twitter bio is conductor of the Donovan Raiola train.
How you feeling about that? Is the train about to crash? Is it like in Mission Impossible Fallout where it's like dropping down?
It's been a bullet train for a little bit, but being honest with you, it's been a pretty damn good train. Now we're a little wobbly. Like, there's some broken plates in first class.
The Wobble Boys. A couple texts and then we'll go to break. Ryan in Utah. Josh, you should have kept your 7-5 pick for the season. Unfortunately, Rule's record against top 25 speaks for itself. So he guesses up me. How about this from the 712? 712 says, not going to lie, Matt had the best take at the round table of this game. We in the media hyped this game up too much. So look at that. A couple compliments coming in for you and I.
Matt McDecent takes.
Matt McFarter is what people
are the worst. There was literally no segue for you to bring up me farting. We weren't even in the realm of talking about anything like that.
Illinois is about to tie the game up. They just scored a touchdown, an extra point away from a 7-7 game. Look, I can bring it up in any way, shape, or form. It's called a non sequitur, Matt. That's how it's done when you've been in radio for over a decade. You know what else has been in radio for over a decade?
Farts.
No, but Old Man Doug sponsoring these shows here on 1620 The Zone. Bigger Overreaction is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Also brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. And we also appreciate Prairie Flower Casino being one of the supporting sponsors of Bigger Overreaction. Play longer, win more, as well as Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. More phone calls to come. Let's see if Matt will get called a woke lib anymore. I hope so. Matt is up next when we return. Also, Dennis. My grandpa's name is Dennis. Dave, Chase, and Brad as we continue to roll on. We'll give you some scores as well from around the world of college football. Florida in the red zone trying to tie it up against Miami. right now in down there in Coral Gables. Oh, never mind. It looked like that was just a highlight from earlier. Ignore what I just said. Miami's up 7-0, and they're about midfield trying to pick up a first down and continue to march their way down the field. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster.
We need points in this Baylor game.
We need points in the Baylor game. Matt, the McBoard is McFull of a lot of things. Is it teetering? Is it teetering and tottering?
It's as wobbly as Donovan Raiola being the O-line.
Well, the Wobbly Boys. More from us when we return on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
Life gets hectic, and that can pull away from your wellness goals. So when you finally focus on your health, why get lost in a sea of impersonal options? Discover No Name Nutrition, your family-owned health food haven with personalized service. We'll guide you to the best choices for your journey. Visit nonamenutrition.com today, 144th and Center or North 72nd Street.
No Name Nutrition, the natural place to shop.
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized solar air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy Systems provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more. Driving industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships, let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air systems today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Get into Prairie Flower Casino and get in the game. Prairie Flower has hundreds of the hottest slot machines along with the PFC Sportsbook and your favorite live table games. Looking for a bite and a beverage? You'll love all our options, including Sky Bar and Grill with nonstop sports on our wall-to-wall TVs and the friendly service you know and love. Play longer, win more at Prairie Flower Casino, just minutes north of downtown Omaha. Must be 21. Please bet responsibly.
Sunday morning is all about church, bacon, and the Sunday paper. Right next to church and bacon, Sunday's made for hot takes and reactions on Severe Reaction. Join me, Michael Severe, Sunday on 1620 The Zone with Severe Reaction from 8 to 10 after every game. What went right, what went wrong, and an honest take on what happened on game day. We'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours. Severe Reaction, Sunday mornings from 8 to 10, powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Nebraska Medicine, together, extraordinary, on 1620 The Zone.
It's Big Red Overreaction, brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Big Red Overreaction continues in 1 minute on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
At Dingman's, we understand that when you bring your vehicle to us, you're entrusting us with your safety and peace of mind. As part of this community, we're here to look after you and your family, just like we would our own. Our skilled technicians ensure every detail is handled with care, and our personal touch sets us apart. As your neighbors and fellow community members, we take pride in caring for the vehicles that keep our community moving. Locally owned and locally trusted. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit dingmans.com.
Hi, this is Tom Osborne. Join me on September 23rd and dine at your favorite local Renza in support of Teammates Mentoring. 10% of Renza sales on September 23rd will benefit your local Teammates Mentoring chapter. Teammates Mentoring helps students reach their full potential by providing a caring adult mentor to meet with them once a week in school. Thank you for your support of Teammates Mentoring. We will see you at Renza on September 23rd.
Big Red Overreaction is live, featuring the most important voice of all, yours. Sound off now, 402-951-1620. Presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. On 1620 The Zone and 1019 The K.
Josh, and Matt with you. Also, Peter is here answering your phone calls at 402-951-1620. This is Big Red Overreaction on 1620 The Zone and 101 The Keg, and it is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Also, brought to you by our other title sponsor, No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. We appreciate our other sponsors, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, Prairie Flower Casino, play longer, win more, and Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. Matt, is there anything, before we go back to the phones, that we have not mentioned so far today that you're like, I just want to do like 2 minutes on that before we take, let's see, Matt's call when we get going again?
I said that I wish Cunanan missed a field goal against Houston Christian so we could get it out of the way.
That first kick of the day was woof.
Yeah.
Nebraska,
but it happens.
Deep in Michigan territory 2 times, and they left with 0 points. And, man, you really did just kind of feel after those, we're like, uh-oh.
It's coming.
They're chasing the points all day long. We have not mentioned this. Let's just do 30 seconds on this.
Okay, cool.
Did you like the call to go for it on 4th
I'm indifferent about it.
Me too. It's nice to be with somebody who doesn't have a strong opinion on it either way, because I don't either. I understand why they wanted to do it. Matt Rule, by the way, if you missed it, I wrote this down. Matt Rule said, if you want to beat Michigan, you have to. He also said you're not going to trick your way into things. He pointed out, immediately got the question, analytics.
Yeah.
That's what the analytics say. I'm with you, man. I didn't have a problem with it. I would have been fine either way. He wanted to make an early statement. I also understand a coach, I trust a coach to think we can pick up a yard.
And also, too, the reason why I'm different about it, it really didn't have to do anything with the decision and everything to do with the fact that they were rolling down the field. They had 3 plays to pick up 3 yards, and they couldn't do it. And that's just not executing.
What was it, a fade and 2 runs?
Fade and 2 runs where I thought
Barney was open.
If Emmett didn't dance, if he just hit the hole. But he did hit the hole a little bit better. We don't have to get too deep into it. I'm neither here nor there. If he kicked the field goal, what would we have been saying?
Should have gone for it.
Should have gone for it. Why didn't you go for it? Well, you can't allow 7 turn into 3. So
for the record, I am an aggressive person, but I watch a lot of NFL, and this isn't to say like our listeners don't. I don't know if they do. I watch a lot of NFL. This is the way of football now. I like it. I like my coaches being aggressive. I don't think that was I don't think it was a stupid decision.
No,
he trusted his team. It backfired on him, but he trusted his team. You know?
And also too, I think it's one of those situations where it's the first drive of the game, so you have the confidence that, hey, we're going to get more chances as the game goes on to get into the red zone and be able to score points. So I'm indifferent.
Travis, you're saying Michigan is trash? We lost by 3. Wow, enough of this after 2 minutes. Wow. Sometimes I wonder what people listen to when they open. Are they listening to a different tab?
I have no
Maybe
clue.
it was a different tab.
I don't know.
Travis, I'll give you a second try. Maybe it was a different tab. Let's go to the phones. Jason at Contracting Hotline. Matt is up next on Big Red Overreaction. Hello, Matt. We love Matts.
We do. Great name.
Matt.
How we doing, fellas? Matt from Cripple Creek.
What's up, man?
Doing great, man.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. I just got to say, Matt Rule more like Matt Fool.
Got him.
You get down there in field goal range, you got to take the 3 points. This is a classic Big Ten game. You cannot leave points on the field like that. What are we doing?
Sure.
And then we end up losing by 3 in classic Nebraska fashion.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks. I mean, if
I don't think that they win the game, though.
No,
if they kick
no.
it, I'm also a believer, Matt, in the butterfly effect. They needed a Hail Mary and a garbage time touchdown to even make it a 3-point game.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, now, I will say this. If you get early points, the game maybe has a different flow for sure. But, I also don't want to just scoreboard look and say, well, they needed 3 points and they would have had 3 points.
If you're super against them going for it, I'll sit here and I'll nod my head and I'll be like, okay. And if you are fully for them, if you're fully for them going for it, I'll sit here and be like, yeah, that's fine. It's kind of one of those things where if it's just
you got to find a friend to argue about it with, because we're not going to be those guys.
No, because it's
Not
just
tonight.
it's kind of like a football thing, right? It's just if you just understand the flow of the game, it's just first drive. If you want to take the 3 points, you can take 3 points. If you want to be aggressive and go and get the 7, if they ended up getting it, we would have called him a genius. It's just kind of one of those
speaking of
weird
genius,
situations.
Chris writes the 3 points aren't guaranteed. Genius.
Yeah, that's another one too.
Maybe they missed the field goal.
Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe that miss comes there. So I don't know. It's so early in the game too. It's literally 3 minutes into the game where it's just so many other things happen that could have affected the game that allowed you to win. I don't think it's as big of a talking point as maybe other people think.
Let's see. Brad is up next on Big Red Overreaction. Hello, Brad.
Gentlemen.
Hey.
Oh, thanks for having me on. This is great. Hi, I'm Brad. I'm actually the president of the Chamber of Commerce for Charlotte, North Carolina, and I want to officially extend a heartfelt welcome to Husker Nation to Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to be hosting this year's Duke's Mayo Bowl, and we want to officially put it out there to everybody. If you want to start booking hotels, please write this down. QBSAC 402.
Oh,
Nice.
Brad.
Nice.
That's a mean code.
QBSAC 402 for 50% savings on hotel. And we're starting to try to work with Southwest Airlines to see if we can make
What's
a
that promo
similar
code?
deal for airlines.
What's that code, Brad?
So, gentlemen, thank you. And we want to welcome Husker Nation to Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right. Thank you, Brad. I thought he was going to have a second promo code.
The second promo code would have been 2-24.
-20. Oh, because of Matt Rules. Yep. Did you know they lost to a ranked team today?
Really?
Yep.
I had no clue.
Next time is probably going to be USC. Probably the next time that they have an
But
opportunity.
I thought Michigan wasn't that good.
Michigan wasn't that good. Ooh, I was wondering when you were going to start taking your victory lap, man. It's about damn time. You want to tell people that you saw this coming?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the. Did you? I mean, no, I don't. I don't want to take my victory lap because it's not a victory lap because
You got
I'm
a lot
not
to learn,
no,
youngster.
No, because I'm not happy. I'm not happy that Nebraska lost. Okay, so
Nice.
I'm not going to put Nebraska winning or losing, or I'm not going to put me being right above Nebraska not accomplishing.
Maybe that's why people always thought that I rooted against the program because I did take victory laps when I was correct
Look,
about the Scott Frost era going
is
to
it
hell.
a fact that all the other hosts on this radio station predicted
we're
Nebraska to win the game?
Yes.
Yeah. Am I the only one that predicted Nebraska to lose the game? Yes, I am. Was I the only one that was correct? Correct. Was I one of two people out of like 17 on Husker Max could predict Michigan to win the game? Yes, I was. Did I tell people that Michigan was still more talented than people were giving them off to be? Yes, I did. But at the same time, I'm not happy about it.
Sam wants to know, is Matt also a Bears fan with that Blackhawks shirt? Wow, a listener who doesn't know you're a Bears fan.
That's
your whole bit.
You know what? I'm not. I can't stand them.
That would be awesome if you're like, no, I'm a Colts guy.
God, I wish I was. Daniel Jones looks good.
You do not wish you were a Colts fan.
I would have had that title in 06. 06 would have been Dwight Freeney holding up
I guess
that
that's
championship
true.
trophy
I
as
guess that's
opposed to
true.
Brian Urlacher.
I'd rather be a sad Ravens fan today, but at least I'd have 2012 and 2000.
It is safe to say that Matt has menacing eyebrows.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. Dave, you're up next on the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. What's going on, man? Uh-oh. Dave? Dave is gone. Dave's not call was brought to you by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. Let's see. Dennis is up next. Hello, Dennis.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great.
Hey, I just got a call. I disagree with the one guy that called earlier. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
This isn't on Dylan Raiola. That offensive line is atrocious. It's probably the worst that I have seen in a long time, and I'm 59 years old. I've been a Husker fan my whole life. Those tackles are just pathetic, weak and pathetic. We need to start spending some of the nil money on getting some linemen.
Well, to be fair, Dennis, they did. Like,
Yeah.
Pritchett wasn't cheap. He's not the
but
wrong guy.
He's trash too.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to tell you, they did spend the money. It just,
Yeah.
it's like you go to a nice restaurant and they overcook your steak.
Yeah, that's true. But blaming this on Raiola is
asinine.
Is yes, it is. It's the kid, and you're right. I think one of you said that he was the only reason why we were in the game, and that's true. Him and with Barney having a couple good plays. But we do need a running back too. I never thought I'd see the day when we at Nebraska say we don't have depth at running back. So, but it's just unfortunately the last 10, 15 years, I'm used to us getting beat like this, but
sure.
I'm just tired of the offensive line being weak. And my brother Mike and I, as kids, used to listen to the games on the radio. And it's not like today where you get to see every game on the TV. But they need to play like their dink's on fire, and they need to put it out at the Duck Junction.
What's up? Oh, right. Attaboy!
Peter, maybe press the button just to be safe.
Yeah, press it.
Just probably a little late.
Might be.
On fire?
Did he say ding?
It sounded like dink. Dink? I know what he meant to say.
Yeah, we're going to get rid of it anyway.
Bigger Overreaction brought to you by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. Yeah, the offensive line, very disappointing. Very
Okay,
disappointing.
so I might lose credibility here.
But you picked the loss.
I know.
You got it. You rooted for this, so congrats to you.
Screw you. Says the guy. You look at the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah. I didn't root against him. Yeah.
Is it a possibility that this offensive line is better than they were, like than this performance?
But it still is stinky.
And they just had a bad day, or maybe Michigan's D-line is maybe better than we thought it was, or do we think that there were so many mistakes to the point where this is now a prevalent problem throughout the season?
Well, I think if you came into the season thinking that the offensive line wasn't going to be very good, this is just more confirmation bias for you. I
Did
mean,
anyone think that, though? Because I feel like we had a lot.
Good or that they were going to be bad?
There are people who are very connected to the program who do this for a living who said that the O-line might be a strength of this team.
Oopsies. My bad.
Yeah.
I said that. I was one of those guys.
So
like what you're hoping for, I think, and you hit on it in your discussion there, is that Michigan's defensive line is awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's the hope, because we're going to find out though in 2 weeks against Michigan State.
I just don't know. They look so much better against the Cincinnati team, and maybe Cincinnati, like you can play this game a bunch of different ways, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know if I'm fully ready. I'm not going to deny that they were awful today. They were terrible. Yeah. There is no two ways about it.
Horrible. Bad pass pro, didn't really get a lot of push in the run game either.
And you
horrible in pass pro.
And you completely limited the offense.
Yeah.
But I'm not also going to be like, all right, every single game from here on out, it's like this is the absolute like I don't know if I'm fully ready to say that they are for sure trash, that they are absolutely awful, that they are weakness of the team.
Yeah.
I am willing to give them a little bit.
They're not the
grace.
weakness. Thankfully for them, they have the run defense out there.
I'm willing.
They have the defensive line that's on the field too. Wade in Mississippi texts in, Raiola's lack of mobility underscores the need for an offensive line that can protect him. He didn't have much of a chance in this game because of that, but even against the team with inferior athletes, he looked more like Peyton Manning than Patrick Mahomes when he tries to run. So that's just not going to work. Also, Tony White's D doesn't get gashed like that. Butler has a lot of work to do as DC. Now, I will say this. I'm a Tony White guy. They got gashed last year against Indiana up and down the field. I think what makes today more impressive, or more maybe disheartening, is that Michigan has the long runs, but they also were able to just move the ball. And that last drive from them when they end up with the field goal was the one where you're just like, this blows, because they got multiple third down opportunities, multiple third and longs, and they had, what was it, the 3rd and 10 where they did the draw?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so disheartening, man.
No, it was, by the way, everybody. Like the D-line was bad, but it was the linebackers weren't. The linebackers disappeared. Yeah. Let's be honest. How many times did you see 33-0 out there making plays as your two linebackers? Not a ton. They almost disappeared.
Chance writes, Peter, play the Husker hater drop at McMaster. Yeah, he was rooting for this, everybody. You heard it. He wasn't rooting for it. That is sarcasm. Chase is up next. Hello, Chase.
Hello. Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Great.
Yeah. I mean, I could hit on the O-line, the D-line, how bad they are overall, and how bad rules clock management is. But I feel like you guys have hit that enough on the show tonight to where I don't really need to go deep into detail on that.
Okay.
My biggest issue is with the O-line and how bad it is. At what point, like, Raiola is very immobile. And, like, I feel like that with how bad this O-line is, you need a mobile quarterback in order for this offense to succeed.
So you're a Tiffy?
What's up?
You're a Tiffy? You're a part of the TJ Lateef hive?
I'm part of the TJ Lateef hype. I'm not calling for him to be starting, but at the same time, I feel like that, like, he can give us a chance because of his athleticism. I'm not blaming Raiola. I'm not saying he's a terrible quarterback. I'm not saying he's bad. But at the same time, I feel like he's not playing at the 5-star level that people had him.
Whoa! But
coming out of high
but you said that the O-line is terrible. So is that his
the
fault?
O-line? Yes, the O-line is bad. The O-line isn't good. Their O-line is definitely not doing him any favors. But at the same time, his pocket presence and his pocket awareness isn't good either. It isn't good either. And I mean, he also has a lot of underthrown balls too, that I've noticed watching the game.
Okay.
He has some accuracy issues as well while watching him play.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 75% completion percentage.
Thank you, Chase.
Super inaccurate.
The Tiffys. Honestly, it surprises me a little bit that it took until now to hear from the Tiffys.
Do you want to be a part of the Double D Club? The Dylan Defender Club.
Ooh, I'm happy to be a part of the Dylan Defender Club.
Double D's.
Boom.
Right
there. Let's see. Josh says your call isn't good either.
He's inaccurate, guys. 75% completion percentage.
Drake says
he's not playing like a 5-star quarterback, but his offensive line is terrible.
Drake says thinking Josh is more than a football pervert looking for all those butts. I was calling for him and he gave them to me. I said, let me get a butt. And he said, let me pull down my pants. And he gave it to me.
Why would any quarterback ever want to like any other 5-star quarterback or high quality quarterback ever want to commit to Nebraska if you have to say, hey, sorry, we didn't build an infrastructure around you for you to succeed. We're going to put this backup in because he just happens to have better feet than you. Even though you're the starting quarterback, you've been the starting quarterback, you've been the guy that we've been calling your future for the last 2 years.
Don't worry. They're not going to do
I know. I'm just saying.
They're not going to do
I see.
What?
Now I got triggered.
Well, you know what? I'm happy that it
got
took.
to me.
How far into the show are we tonight? How many hours have we? About 90 minutes. I'm happy it took 90 minutes for you to get triggered. This edition of Matt Being Triggered on Big Red Overreaction is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. It's also brought to you by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more, and Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. All right, when we return, we have more phone calls to take on the Jay Stinnett contracting hotline, so we will do those on the other side, rather, on this edition of Big Red Overreaction, which is proudly brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Also brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Nebraska cannot end the losing streak to ranked teams. They fall 30-27 to Michigan. More of your calls, emails, tweets, texts, and more when we return. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, Peter Krenzer producing on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
When it comes to protecting your home, Jay Stinnett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, Jay Stinnett Contracting has you covered. This fall, consider gutter guards to block debris and prevent clogs and save you the hassle of regular maintenance. Schedule a consultation today and let Jay Stinnett Contracting's expert team and durable gutter guards ensure your gutters are working properly in every season. Jay Stinnett Contracting. We have you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized solar air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy Systems provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more. Driving industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships, let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air systems today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Sunday morning is all about church, bacon, and the Sunday paper. Right next to church and bacon, Sunday's made for hot takes and reactions on Severe Reaction. Join me, Michael Severe, Sunday on 1620 The Zone with Severe Reaction from 8 to 10 after every game. What went right, what went wrong, and an honest take on what happened on game day. We'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours. Severe Reaction, Sunday mornings from 8 to 10, powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Nebraska Medicine, together, extraordinary, on 1620 The Zone.
At Dingman's, we understand that when you bring your vehicle to us, you're entrusting us with your safety and peace of mind. As part of this community, we're here to look after you and your family, just like we would our own. Our skilled technicians ensure every detail is handled with care, and our personal touch sets us apart. As your neighbors and fellow community members, we take pride in caring for the vehicles that keep our community moving. Locally owned and locally trusted. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit dingmans.com.
It's Big Red Overreaction, brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Big Red Overreaction continues in 1 minute on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Life gets hectic, and that can pull away from your wellness goals. So when you finally focus on your health, why get lost in a sea of impersonal options? Discover No Name Nutrition, your family-owned health food haven with personalized service. We'll guide you to the best choices for your journey. Visit NoNameNutrition.com today, 144th and Center or North 72nd Street.
No Name Nutrition, the natural place to shop.
When you're in the mood for a little change of pace, tune into Omaha's home for hits that rock. 1019 The Keg. With rock hits from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Plus, we're your home for all Creighton men's basketball games. 1019 The Keg. Hits that rock.
402-951-1620. Now back to Big Red Overreaction, presented with limited commercial interruption by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. And by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
This edition of Big Red Overreaction is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. And Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems expert. And don't forget to call in to the J. Stinnett Contracting Hotline.
And that's where we go right now.
I can't read.
Hey, it's okay. You did a good job.
That was a good bit.
We're all very proud
Jeez,
of you.
I can't stand you, Josh Peterson. Someone just called me Matt McFarts-a-lot.
Craig, do you want to call Matt a fart guy?
Yes.
All right, what's up, Craig?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
First of all, the guy that called about 5 minutes ago saying that promoting the Duke's Mayo Bowl, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I think if that's our goal, then that's a brand new low for Nebraska. Second of all, does John Butler know what run defense is?
Interesting question.
And then, third of all, does the secondary know how to wrap up? Because I don't know if I'm more upset with the D line or the secondary unable to actually wrap their arms around an actual offensive guy with a football. You know what I mean?
I feel what you're saying. It's a good call, Craig.
Thank you, Craig. Well, was it?
Good call. The fact that he identified the secondary definitely did have something to do with
You're right. That was a brutal.
But at the same time, the main job of the secondary is to stop passes. The main job of the D line is to stop, what's at the line.
Defensive line way more disappointing.
Yes,
way more disappointing.
The D line failed at their main objective more than the secondary did.
LSD will text in more like Borat, Matt.
I don't even know what that. Oh, like
Did he fart?
I don't.
You run around hotels naked.
Very nice.
Very nice. High five. By the way, Miami 10, Florida 0. Miami has the ball with 10-12 to go in the first half. Indiana's on the move again. They're up by 7 on Illinois. Shout out to all of us who still like the Hoosiers in 2025. And I'm not just talking about myself. I probably am. Happer, if you're out there listening, I'm talking about you goober. Randy is up
4 or
next.
5 good games going on right now.
There are 4 or 5 good games going on right now. Randy, what's up, man?
Hey, Randy from Elkhorn. How you doing?
I'm lovely.
Randy.
Hey, I got a few quick questions. I've been a long life Husker fan since 1975, since I've been born.
Wait, real quick, Randy. Your voice sounded way younger
You
than
sounded
that.
like you're 33.
I thought you were my age, but you're really old.
Good for you. Oh my God, that's so rude.
I've been living life.
Good for you,
Good
man.
for you,
Quick
Randy.
question for you though. When are we going to get done with these finesse quarterbacks like Dylan Raiola? I'm just done with it. We need a TJ Latif, a boy that can run the ball, can scramble, that can move the ball around, can make plays. Second question.
Yeah.
When are we going to find a running back that's like Lawrence Phillips and Thunder Collins? Rest in peace. That's all I got.
Okay. Now, I don't know why he brought up I mean, maybe because both guys ended up in jail. I don't know why Thunder. No, I'm serious, Matt. If somebody says I want a Lawrence Phillips again, I say, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
But then I would go with like Mike Rozier, Amon Green, or Thunder Collins.
That's a good
That's not what I would personally do. I'd rather use Amir Abdullah.
Yeah, that'd be a good Rex Burkhead.
The Teethies, they continue to be out there.
I'm going to end it on this.
Go to the dentist.
I'm just going to end it on this. Do you know what a perfect passer rating is? Like
in the NFL, 158.3.
Okay. Do you know what
in college? It's a pretend number. I don't know. It might be infinity for all I know. The college rating system is the dumbest crap. Why? Are you looking at Dylan Raiola's number?
Well, yeah.
What was he today?
155.
That's pretty good. Now, if that's NFL rating, then that's like tremendous. Red says Thunder was weak. I'm not going to say anything bad about Thunder, but he is in jail. Bigger overreaction.
Maybe I'm a dummy. I definitely thought it was just 150. Why are QB ratings different from the NFL to the college football? That's so dumb.
It is dumb. Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It's a dumb sport.
All right, never mind.
But
my point's gone. But still, he went 30 for 41 with a 73%.
Michael's listening right now, so I want he could be texting. No, he didn't text it. Happer did text it. I'm listening. I won't stand your Indiana honking. Well, choo choo, Happer.
Yes.
Indiana driving down the field, baby.
I have a future for them to make the college football playoff.
Oh, is it a lunch bet future, perhaps?
No, that's with Happer. But then I actually put my own money where my mouth is, and I bet plus 600, plus 650, I believe, were my odds.
You know where else you could go to put your money where your mouth is, man?
Prairie Flower Casino, baby. Play longer, win more. Go to that sport book, and don't forget to hit up that awesome bar. They got a sick bar with a bunch of TVs. One of my favorite places to watch sports is Prairie Flower Casino.
Yeah, and their food, like you mentioned, is absolutely incredible.
And they got good beer on tap.
Bigger Overreaction brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. Up next is Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
How's your night going?
Well,
so I want to go back to something you said earlier. I'm one of those that does believe choices you made in the first quarter certainly affected the outcome of the game. I'm like, get the points early. Matt, I know you're a Bears fan. I'm a Bears fan, too. I said the same thing last weekend with the Bears. Not that it would have mattered. But I'm like, take the points early. Quit going for it on fourth down. So, but
I hear you
the main question I have is, for the last 3 years, I've taken the Nebraska under and pocketed that to the bank.
Yeah.
This year, I got convinced to take the over.
Uh-oh.
Do we have 5 wins left on the schedule? Can we find 5 wins on the schedule to get to 8?
I still am.
Possible.
That's good, Lamb.
Jeff, thanks for the call. Look, I think you can find them because coming into the year, this was certainly chalked up as a loss by a lot of us.
I still am.
Look, I'll say this. My 7-5 preseason pick, like I am feeling good about it, sadly, today. Like the issues, I got a text from somebody early in the game where it was like, this game fit a lot of narratives. If you thought Nebraska's lines were bad, well, there you go. If you thought Nebraska couldn't perform in quote-unquote prime time against an opponent like this, well, you got that. If you think Matt Rule is a doofus who can't manage the time, sadly, right, it ends up working. And if you think Nebraska not having a mobile quarterback is a huge pain in the keister, well,
but that's more of the offensive line. But I get what you're saying. I totally understand.
This game sadly fit a lot of the chatter that we had coming into the season and into the game.
But Josh, I knew those things.
Yeah.
And I still picked 8-4.
Yeah, you did.
So I ain't moving off of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And man, go back and look at other teams last season, right? Like, go and look at Florida. Florida was dead in the water, and Billy Napier was going to get fired, and then they end up like turning things around.
Yeah,
like
now he's going to get fired
like
again.
I know, but okay, that's not necessarily the point.
They're about to go to 1-3.
The point being is the team that you are in week 4 is not the team that you're going to be in week 6, or
100%.
week 7, or week
100%.
Things move on.
Yeah, what are they going to do now with the off week to tinker with the defensive line and
the offensive line? And maybe. I do think though there is one thing that we're kind of too far gone at this point. It's the backup running back position. Like I don't think there's any tinkering being done there.
100%. What's more likely, offensive line or defensive line gets their act together?
Offensive line.
Yeah,
I have way more trust in the offensive line coach than I do the defensive line coach. But that has more to do with the fact that historically, Donovan Raiola offensive lines have gotten better as the year has gone on. Go back and look at it. That's a fact.
Bigger Overreaction is brought to you by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. Bob, up next on Bigger Overreaction on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg. Hello, Bob.
Yeah, after a game like that, your first thought is, oh, my God, Nebraska's never going to beat a good team again. But then you go back and you look, Hunter stepping out of bounds.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you, Bob. We have not brought that play up. Thank you to you.
That was totally avoidable, and there's a touchdown.
Yes.
And then that, we go ahead at the last touchdown if we get those extra 4 points. The other thing is, by the fourth quarter, it was obvious we could not run the ball.
Yeah.
And our unimaginative first down play calling, except for the last drive, and Michigan was up by 2 scores, so but we hit 2 5-yard passes and kind of got things rolling. I wish we could have, had some more imaginative plays, because our first downs we get stuffed, and then it was second and long, and then Raiola probably got sacked, and we needed more imaginative plays on first down in the fourth quarter when we could not run the ball.
Yeah.
And the other thing positive, the special teams. I mean, my God, we got a punter, and
Good point, Bob.
and they didn't have any kickoff returns. They didn't have any punt returns. Outside Barney fielding the ball inside the 5. Whatever happened to stand at the 10
Yes, Bob.
and don't back up?
Preach. Yeah, put your heels on the 10-yard line and don't move.
That obviously is not a thing anymore.
No, it's definitely not.
So many guys field inside the 10, but anyway, the Hunters, that touchdown goes in, and we had it. If you go back, there was a lot of ways we could have won that game. Of course, sadly, we found the way to, not to win. But some real, special teams. We certainly won the special. Well, I guess we missed the field goal, and they made all their field goals. I guess that's. But they had no return yards, and we, our punter flipped the field a couple times.
Multiple times.
So anyway, there was some positives, and I don't think we're going to play too many teams with a better defense than Michigan. Penn State. Iowa's offense looks very average. So Iowa's usually, has a good defense, but Penn State. I mean, Southern Cal's defense is not as good as Michigan's. I don't think.
No,
we're going to have to score, and my biggest concern is, guys, the running game. I mean, if we can't have a running game, that makes it so hard to score when you got the ball inside the 10, and that's the toughest. To me, that's the toughest takeaway coming from the game. But few positives, and it's one of these days we got to win a game like this. Hopefully sooner than later. But thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Mark writes, who let the B team run overreaction on the biggest night of the year? Give us Bishop. John, why doesn't John do this? He only does the pregame. He should have done the postgame too.
I don't know.
Good call.
It's not like I marked out for 9 big red overreactions.
Hey, do you like Matt doing big red overreaction? Well, I have great news for you.
I wrote down a note, run purgatory.
Yeah.
This was before they got the sack with 3 guys rushing, which I haven't seen.
That was the most depressing play of the entire day.
Yeah, let's just see Gunnar Catula.
Because it looked like they had 5 guys, right, or 6 lined up. Michigan did on the line of scrimmage, and you thought, oh boy, they're about to bring the house, and they didn't, and they still got to him.
And the reason why I wrote run purgatory, and it was a good call by Bob, because they just kept getting 2 or 3 yards, and it's like you can't give up on it, but you're not gashing anything. Yeah, I saw the Matt McFlatulence.
Wow, people are roasting you, McFecal matter. Chance, that's mean. I wish Peter's mic would have been on for that one. By the way, somebody asked us a little bit earlier what Nebraska's rushing totals were in the end. 31 for 43. But look, 7 of those were sacks for negative 49 yards. I hate college football. Put those on Dylan Raiola in the passing game, not on the running. 31 carries for 43 yards.
We're doing,
Matt, that is garbage.
Let me do quick math. 65, 19, 84, 91, 92 total rushing yards from running backs.
No, 100. For running backs.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah,
that's
84.
7
no,
plus
you're
84,
good. You're
91. 1 plus 91 is 92.
I was removing Ja'Cory Barney from the.
I'm like Damon doing math.
Look at that. He does like doing math on the radio. Big Red Overreaction is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. It's also brought to you by our other title sponsor, No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Let us return to the phones. Tyler has been waiting as we continue on with Big Red Overreaction, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. Hello, Tyler.
Hey, Josh and Matt. How are you guys?
Good, Tyler.
I'm terrible.
Good.
Just sick and tired of everybody lying and telling everybody, "Oh, I'm doing great."
Yeah,
no, I'm not doing great.
I'm a little tired, Tyler, but I'm doing okay.
I think we need to slow the brakes a little bit. We need to slow them down. Hey, we're not that. We're not what we were today. I don't think so. Maybe against the great teams, we might be a little bit on that side. But here's what I'm going to say: is we still have the quarterback, the guy. He's still one of the best in the Big Ten, probably the best, honestly, in my opinion. We still have a good rush offense, and you know what? We still have a bad rush defense. We do. We know that. But I will say this: in terms of a Power 5 school and a Big Ten school that's a powerhouse, I still think that we are going to beat the teams that we're supposed to beat, and we're going to get 9 or 10 wins. And I think we're going to be great.
All right, Tyler. Thanks. From your lips to God's ears, man. Patrick writes, Matt, learning bigger overreaction is actually not fun. Is by far my least favorite part of the day. Drake says Josh clowning on McMaster is the best part of this game. Have I been clowning on you?
No, we're just joking.
All I said was you farted.
I did.
Yeah.
But, that was a little rude. You're just a rude guy.
Well,
I was going to save this for the week, but whatever. Because I said at the round table, like everybody was talking about this game as being the next step. I flat out disagree. I don't think winning this game was the next step. I think
nailed it.
I think the next step was beating the teams that you should beat.
Well, and now, you know what? The next step for sure can be lose and then still rebound.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. $1,000,000%.
You
can will learn a lot from this team off of a bye week if they can respond to what I think is not that great of a Michigan State team and beat them.
100%. Bigger Overreaction is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. It's also brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Supporting sponsors of Bigger Overreaction this season are Prairie Flower Casino, play longer, win more, as well as Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air system experts, and of course, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. All right, we have 1 segment to go. We will come back. We will take the final few calls, send you off into the Saturday night. Miami 10, Florida 0, Indiana up 21-7 on Illinois, and I believe they just got the ball back. Baylor just scored, and it looks like that game's going to go to 10-10, so anyone who has the over is probably loving it. They enjoy points, and if you missed it earlier, Clemson lost again. They are now 1-3.
Did Notre Dame cover?
Shout out to anyone on the air right now that picked Clemson to be stinky, but still had him in the playoff like an idiot. That would be me. All right.
Notre Dame covered.
Congrats to you, Matt, and congrats to all of us for being here on this Saturday. We will come back. Alex Sindelar continues to comment. Maybe we'll read one of his comments when we return.
He's a cool cat.
He wants to do a show with Stibbs someday.
I like Alex.
Alex, you are allowed. Oh, Brian calls us Two Woke Libs. That could be the name of a podcast. Welcome to Two Woke Libs with Josh and Matt. But today it's just,
I like how he goes 2 woke lips. Probably.
Nailed it, Brian. Nailed it. All right, we'll come back and take some final calls and send you on into the Saturday night on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Cake.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
When it comes to protecting your home, Jay Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, Jay Stennett Contracting has you covered. This fall, consider gutter guards to block debris and prevent clogs and save you the hassle of regular maintenance. Schedule a consultation today and let Jay Stennett Contracting's expert team and durable gutter guards ensure your gutters are working properly in every season. Jay Stennett Contracting. We have you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized solar air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy Systems provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more. Driving industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships, let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air systems today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Sunday morning is all about church, bacon, and the Sunday paper. Right next to church and bacon, Sunday's made for hot takes and reactions on Severe Reaction. Join me, Michael Severe, Sunday on 1620 The Zone with Severe Reaction from 8 to 10 after every game. What went right, what went wrong, and an honest take on what happened on game day. We'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours. Severe Reaction, Sunday mornings from 8 to 10, powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Nebraska Medicine, together extraordinary on 1620 The Zone.
At Dingman's, we understand that when you bring your vehicle to us, you're entrusting us with your safety and peace of mind. As part of this community, we're here to look after you and your family, just like we would our own. Our skilled technicians ensure every detail is handled with care, and our personal touch sets us apart. As your neighbors and fellow community members, we take pride in caring for the vehicles that keep our community moving. Locally owned and locally trusted. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit dingmans.com.
It's Big Red Overreaction, brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Big Red Overreaction continues in 1 minute on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Life gets hectic, and that can pull away from your wellness goals. So when you finally focus on your health, why get lost in a sea of impersonal options? Discover No Name Nutrition, your family-owned health food haven. With personalized service, we'll guide you to the best choices for your journey. Visit nonamenenutrition.com today, 144th and Center, or North 72nd Street.
No Name Nutrition, the natural place to shop.
When you're in the mood for a little change of pace, tune into Omaha's home for hits that rock. 1019 The Keg. With rock hits from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Plus, we're your home for all Creighton men's basketball games. 1019 The Keg. Hits that rock.
Big Red Overreaction now on 2 big stations. KOOO, La Vista, Omaha, Council Bluffs. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. Sound off on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg. Now back to Big Red Overreaction, presented with limited commercial interruption by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Indiana is whooping on that Fighting Illini behind. They are an extra point away from 28-7. Man, can you imagine if your name was like Connor Happer and you kept doubting Indiana? Wow, you'd feel like a real big idiot today. Well, it was on a screen.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, circles the wagons like the Indiana Hoosiers.
Was that your Chris Berman?
Back.
Okay, that was better. That was better. Chris says, suck it, Happer.
Let me tell you what, man.
Okay.
Those
We don't have
Indiana
to do it.
Hoosiers, man. Connor Happer. Get ready to buy Matt McMaster some lunch, man. I'm talking about. Knock on wood if you're with me, Josh Peterson.
I want everybody to go tweet at Happer and say you were wrong about Indiana. Big Red Overreaction is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Also brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Great title sponsors this season on Big Red Overreaction. Our supporting sponsors, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. Stop looking at me that way. Also, Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. And by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. All right, few phone calls to go, and then we'll let you go on and watch football. Watch the USC-Michigan State game. Watch Matt look like John Gruden.
Where did Danny Woodhead go to college, Josh Peterson?
Oh, I just Shadron State.
He went to Shadron State, man.
Yeah,
That's where he learned to pick up blitzes, man.
A couple texts coming in. Classic media honks. You love dumb bleep like this. Illinois' ass. Oh, interesting.
They're Akron.
Shouldn't have been in the top 10 then. Espin, and it's not spelled ESPN. Joining us now on the Big Red Overreaction, the J Syndic Contracting Hotline. Hello, Espin.
Hey, Josh, I-80 Club for Life, Matt McLib. I'd love to talk about.
Sorry.
I don't think that
Espin.
Rayola's as bad as everybody thinks he is. Obviously, everyone likes TJ Lateef. He didn't play against much competition the last couple weeks, but one thing I want to bring up that really just kind of feeds into the conversation is why are we running a Andy Reid goddamn Chiefs Travis Kelce play on 4th and 2 on the goal line? We should have kicked that field goal. I'll shut up and listen. Thanks for having me.
Come on, Espin. You can't drop a GD in there.
Oh, yeah, man. You can't be.
No, you don't
talking
have to.
trash. I'm the macho man.
So what play is he talking about here? The
I mean,
the 4th down on the first. Yeah, you know, it he just kind of ran into the lineman. There was just no room there.
So Mekhi Nelson had one carry where he literally had a great hole opened up. Like he could have gotten about 10 to 15 yards. Go back and watch it, and we might do it run through the tape, which is one of our segments, or new segments that we do, where he literally just ran right into his blocker. Like he just pick your head up and like you have 15 yards, and he decided to run right into his car.
You know, your name is Matt McLib. Back to the phones as we get ready to say goodbye. Josh is up next. Hello, Josh.
Hey, guys. Hey. First of all, thanks for signing my hat at the round table in KC.
You're the man.
Let's go, Josh.
You're the best, Josh. Thank you for coming. You were great.
I want to reiterate that Tyler was right earlier. I kind of want to put down these people against Dylan.
Thank you.
He doesn't have the time. That's been said today. But when he's sacked, when they have the floating camera, there's nobody open when he holds the ball too long. So what is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
Run.
He's supposed to have faster feet.
To me, sure, maybe slightly quicker, but in the head of making a decision to run. But also, I want to touch on if we really want to win, we have to do what we need to do to capitalize in the first quarter. We have to do better than the other guy to win and kind of control what we can control with the rest.
Nice.
Because we're just not going to get any favors.
All right. Thanks for the call, Josh. Run faster, Dylan. Run faster.
So for somebody said, I don't think Dylan played as bad as people were coming off. I just want to say this. So you remove the Hail Mary. Yeah. He's at 250 yards. He completed 29 passes. That means his average completion was about 9 yards. Okay.
That's not good. That's not good for average completion. Not good. You want your average attempt to be.
Yes. Yeah. But average completion, not terrible. Could be way worse.
I mean,
3 touchdowns, 1 bad interception. Okay. So still 250 yards, 73% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, a bad pick. There's nothing bad. There's nothing bad about that. Yeah. I don't think there's any bad to be had. And everybody brings up the O-line. Yeah, he did all of that. He didn't have a bad performance, yet he had a bad O-line. So if anything, the bad O-line should amplify how he played.
Is he just... He's just not what people want him to be.
What do people want him to be?
They want him to run.
Okay, I disagree.
No, that's what they want.
No. I think people want him to be Tom Brady. They want him to be or not Tom Brady. That's a bad example. They want him to be Tim Tebow. They want him to be Joe Burrow. They want him to be this the greatest quarterback of all time. They want him to be Joe Montana. And okay, that's fine. That's fine if you want him to be like that, but don't discredit him even if he plays well, if he doesn't live up to that unrealistic expectation.
They're grading him on the curve of the 5-star.
But the curve is so
it is
so big where you can still appreciate when he has a good game, and he played a good game.
One comment real fast before we go to Jerry as we get ready to wind down. Wolfhound writes, I would like to publicly blame McMaster for this loss. Not only did he doubt us and pick Michigan to win, he also hexed the kicker the other day by wishing he would have missed one preseason.
Look,
Are you the reason they lost?
You love reading all the comments that are pointed toward me and that are blaming me.
No, I picked it at random.
There are plenty of Josh hating comments in the chat that you don't decide to read. But anytime anybody drops a Matt Mick whatever, you want to read it out there.
All right, let's see if Jerry wants to compliment you. Jerry, do you have a nice thing to say about Matt? Oh no. All right, Jerry's gone. Okay, Tay writes, Josh smells stinky Josh.
You are stinky.
Yeah, because you farted on me. I turned it against you still. Tristan is up next on Big Red Overreaction. Hello, Tristan.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
The first thing is, Dylan is not to blame for anything.
Thank you.
Dylan played his ass off, and he did what he needed to do. Tip pass, pick, is what it is. But defense, same thing. The whole problem is the O-line. O-line could not handle what Michigan had to give.
All right.
Even on defense, it was 3 or 4 big passes or big plays that had to get going. That's all it was. Other than that, it was Nebraska the whole time. They controlled the game. That's all it was.
Cool. Thank you. Cool. Thank you, Tristan. All right.
Yeah.
We have all right. Yeah, people are debating now, drunk or high. That should be a new fun game.
Oh, that'd be a great game.
Drunk or high. I'm gonna go high. I think
I shouldn't say that, Joe.
Say what you want to say.
I've always wanted to do sex or tennis.
Okay.
It's like you guess if like we play.
Oh, the noise.
We play the noise, and you
Your
got to
co-host
guess.
would love that.
Yeah,
We've got a bye week to brainstorm some
and
cool
we
ideas.
We play a noise, and we go, is that sex or is it tennis?
Wow, Matthew writes, Josh has great takes. Matt has a great name and a favorite NFL team.
Wow, I'm shocked that you didn't read the Alex Sindelar comment, which complimented me.
What does Sindelar say? I missed it.
He said that if we did a show together, charisma would be reeking in the booth.
The Riz? Like you
No.
should do a show with Sindelar.
You're auraless.
Okay.
You have no aura.
Randy, you are our final call tonight on Big Red Overreaction. Give it to us.
Randy from Elkhorn.
Oh, baby, let's go.
You're back.
Hey, one last question.
Okay.
How do I put it?
Uh-oh.
Nebraska football.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Where are we at as a nation for football in the state of Nebraska?
Are we a nation?
Where are we gonna go with this? I mean, we've got a quarterback that should be a 5-star, right? A 5-star quarterback should be dinking and dunking, doing what he's supposed to do. But what does he do? He finesses the football. Where do we go from this? I see TJ Lateef sitting there looking and saying, hey, I could do better. Where do we go from this? Let me know what you guys think.
Randy,
That's all I got.
thank you for the call. Randy, where you go next is the Michigan State game in 2 weeks.
Well, actually,
oh, you have a serious answer?
Well, no, you go home, right? I mean, they got a bye week, so probably go home to the family,
and then you go to the
Michigan State game. But you don't really like go there because it's in Lincoln. So I guess you like walk there.
Yeah, do all those things.
Yeah.
Indiana 28-7. They have the ball back again, and they just had a long run, and they are getting close to making it 35.
I have a lot of friends who went to Illinois who clowned me all day, so I can't wait, Dave.
Again, don't forget to continue to tweet at Connor Happer. This has been Big Red Overreaction, brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Also brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Those are the title sponsors all season long. We very much appreciate them. We appreciate the supporting sponsors: Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, Prairie Flower Casino, play longer, win more. Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. Of course, the J Stinnett Contracting Hotline all night long. We've been loving your phone calls, and now we are done. Coming up tomorrow morning, Michael Severe Reaction 8 to 10s. Tune in for that one, 8 to 10. And then you are back with Gary on Monday, 6 to 10. Happer Show, 10 to 2. John and I on Sportsman Iconic from 2 to 6. And off we go into an off week, talking about an L. A very tough L, and you reminding people that you picked it.
Jeez.
You will.
I mean, yeah. I had the biggest football brain at the round table.
You did indeed. For Matt McMaster, for Peter Krenzer, I'm Josh Peterson. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you tomorrow with Severe Reaction, and then on Monday with the boys of 1620 The Zone. Thanks for listening on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.